全軍突撃
What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be exploring 12 of the lesser known but hella powerful characters from the Tekken series. Remember the fighting game that has so many titles in the franchise only God knows? And yes, I know you've heard of the heavyweights like Jin, Kazuya, Heihachi, but you've also gotta know the cool underrated ones. You know, for your own rep. So without any further delay, get your fists up and let's get started. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, let's begin. Lars Alexandersson. First up is Lars Alexandersson, the one who betrayed his own order to build a new era. Yep, that's his tagline. So this guy was the illegitimate son of Heihachi Mishima, like the main OG characters and kind of a major anti-hero of the Tekken series. Mishima didn't even know about Lars' existence initially. Now, from early on, Lars was a high-ranking special officer in the Mishima Zaibatsu Tekken Force. But no happy ending there. Eventually, the Tekken Force started causing chaos and war throughout the world, which led to Lars defecting and forming a new rebel group. Even more so after finding out about his father. So he formed the Yggdrasil Resistance, and fought to stop Jin Kazuma's world war. In this journey, Lars even overcame an android woman called Elisa when they were ambushed by G Corporation's Jack robots. And in the explosion, Lars lost his memory. But guess what? All he had to do to regain it is fight his father. Simple, right? He's of course very powerful, strong, and has great tactical intelligence. He's an offensive character who's super fast, and of course, we can't forget his Lion's Crest outfit. Yoshimitsu. Next up, we've got a ninja on our list. Yoshimitsu is the leader of the Manji clan, which is like this Robin Hood style clan where they steal from the dishonest rich and give it back to the poor and needy. Pretty cool if you ask me. He had joined the King of Iron Fist tournament just to steal all their funds. Insane, right? He also had this Bucky-esque storyline where he gravely injured his left arm in a fight that occurred after he broke into Mishima Zaibatsu's research and development labs. But what was he doing there, you ask? Well, stealing, of course. But there was this really good doctor held captive in the labs as well who replaced his arm with a robotic one. And Yoshimitsu is such a man of principle that he once again enrolled in the King of Iron Fist tournament too, just to save the doctor and help him get out of the lab. Now, when we talk about his powers, yes, there's ninja arts, swordplay, and even flying, healing and teleportation, but we must mention his special possessed sword, the Cursed Blade. It's this insanely cool demon-slaying weapon that's always hungry for blood, as if Yoshimitsu wasn't cool enough already. Hwoarang. Okay, we've got a spicy rival up next. Hwoarang is a taekwondo master from South Korea and a rival of Jin Kazama himself. He was actually a star student of Baekdu-san, who does go missing afterwards, sorry for the spoiler. Hwoarang was also the leader of this street fighting team which committed fraud and scam people by faking weaknesses so as to up the wagers against them only for Hwoarang to come in and win it all. But oops, one day they ran into Mishima Zaibatsu's people and he challenged Jin Kazama to a fight. And guess what? This was the first time Hwoarang didn't win the fight. They actually drew. Their rivalry didn't even end there. They had a rematch in the King of Iron Fist Tournament 5, where Hwoarang actually defeated Jin, but that unlocked Jin's devil form, and he nearly killed Hwoarang. Now, this guy is pure taekwondo with some insanely powerful kicks, and a very aggressive playstyle. He ain't beginner friendly, but once you figure it out, there's no going back. And yes, the hair and goggles help the cool factor too. Kuma. Yeah, I know that's a bear, but hear me out. Kuma, and also his successor Kuma 2, are some underrated heavy hitters, and add to that their loyalty, and you'll realize why you want them on your side. Kuma was a bear cub found lost and abandoned in the forest of Heihachi's estate, so Heihachi adopted Kuma as a pet, only to realize that he has a superior intellect. Not long after, he started training Kuma in everything from fighting to sign language and even Japanese. Just imagine. Naturally, after all that training, Kuma became Heihachi's bodyguard, and even formed a rivalry with Paul Phoenix at the first King of Iron Fist tournament. Yes, Kuma lost, but his determination to train again and get even stronger was pretty impressive, for a bear at least. He has insane brute strength and uses Kuma Shinken, which is a bear karate style, and of course, he's also super smart. So don't even try to discount him just because he's a bear. Leo Kleeson. Okay, tragic story alert, Leo Kleeson is from Germany, born to Niklas and Emma Kleeson. His father Niklas was a world-famous spelunker and archaeologist who went missing on an adventure when Leo was just a child, and he was thus left with his mother Emma, who was a geneticist and researcher who worked for none other than the Mishima Zaibatsu and the G Corporation. Life was pretty okay for a while as Leo grew up with his mother and learned how to fight, but tragedy struck yet again. His mother Emma was killed. You can imagine just how angry that made Leo, especially because the police just randomly stopped the investigation. Yep, I know what you're thinking, and you're not wrong. Emma, who worked for the G Corporation, was killed, and it was definitely not a coincidence. And it was all because of Kazuya Mishima. Emma was actually working on the devil gene, and once Kazuya accessed his devil form, he no longer needed the researchers. Now as a fighter, Leo is all about balance with both strength moves as well as safety. I know that doesn't sound super exciting, but trust me, his fighting style involves this really unique Chinese martial art called Baji Quan, which is all about upper body strength and powerful elbow strikes. Now that sounds pretty fun, right? Elisa Boskonovich. Remember Elisa? The android that went on adventures with Lars Alexanderson? She was an android designed by Dr. Boskonovich as an ode to his late daughter. And Dr. Boskonovich is actually the same doctor who replaced Yoshimitsu's arm with a robotic one. He worked for a Mishima Zaibatsu lab, where he was so engrossed by his work that he never noticed how ill his daughter was until it was too late and she had already passed away. He used some insane tech to create Elisa, including perpetual engine technology and cold sleep machines. She was originally intended as Jean's bodyguard with some crazy combat abilities, but before she could be used as a weapon, she was accidentally awoken by Lars when they ambushed the Boskonovich labs. And since then, she went on a whole journey with Lars to figure out his identity and regain his memory. Eventually, Jean did manage to reboot Elisa and turn her on Lars, but she soon regained her memory of all her adventures with him, right before shutting down. Now, as for her powers, she has literal chainsaws for arms, mechanical modifications, can hack systems, and also has butterfly wing-like jets that allow her to fly. A powerhouse, basically. Julia Chang. So, Julia is a Native American environmentalist, but that's not how she started out. She was actually born to unknown parents who left her stranded in a Native American settlement where she was found by Michelle Chang, who adopted her and took her to her tribe. After Julia had grown up, something weird started happening. Martial artists started disappearing all around the world, which seemed eerily familiar to the tribal tales of the god of fighting. So Michelle, Julia's mother, went to investigate in Japan and asked Heihachi Mishima what was up, but she never returned. Naturally, Julia had to do something about her mother's disappearance, and thus joined the third King of Iron Fist tournament to rescue her. And hey, she actually did succeed. She also wanted revenge on Heihachi, but decided to let it be for the time being. So what about her powers? I will say she isn't the most powerful character on the roster, but she has indeed mastered a bunch of Chinese martial arts, like Xinyi, Liu He Quan, and Baji Quan, and mixed wrestling moves with them. Pretty unique fighting style, I must say. Shaheen. A pretty new addition to Tekken, Shaheen was only introduced in Tekken 7. He was from Saudi Arabia and learned combat skills from his father. He even saved a boy, Salim, from an assassination attempt 13 years ago, and that boy became his best friend. In fact, Salim even asked Shaheen to be his bodyguard. Eventually, Shaheen grew up and went on his own way by joining the army, and then becoming a private military specialist. But then all of a sudden, he got the news that Salim had died, but things weren't as they seemed. So naturally, he started investigating, and found out that the G Corporation was the one behind it. He took it upon himself to get revenge for Salim and his entire family and fight the G Corporation. His fighting style is obviously military close-quarters combat. Nothing flashy, but very reliable, solid stuff, like strong punches, kicks, and practical fighting. Honestly, that's the guy I would choose to back me in a fight. Ling Xiaoyu. Okay, so Ling Xiaoyu was introduced in Tekken 3 and actually has the most unique backstory. She was just this simple girl from China with the dream of creating the perfect theme park in China, but she needed money and resources, which led her to the very wealthy Heihachi Mishima. Now, Heihachi was actually quite impressed and amused by her, which is why he promised her the amusement park if she won the King of Iron Fist Tournament 3. Unfortunately, she didn't win, but this is where her journey began, because this is when she became friends with Jin Kazama. And let me tell you, she continued to participate in the tournament till even the 6th version of it. She participated in the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4 to reunite with Jin, then again in 5 to win the prize money and get herself a time machine because she thought Heihachi had died, and once again in 6 to persuade Jin not to kill his grandfather. She and Jin actually had a very strong bond, and their paths intertwined throughout. She does use Chinese martial arts as well, like many before her, but it must be admitted that she doesn't do the greatest damage. Dragunov. Next up, we've got the White Angel of Death, also known as the White Reaper. His real name? Dragunov, and he's a Russian Special Forces operative. He's cold, he's quiet, and he's lethal. He was originally sent to the King of Iron Fist Tournament 5 on a secret mission on behalf of the Russian military, but failed. He was then once again sent to the King of Iron Fist Tournament 6 to try and take down the Mishima Zaibatsu. And guess what? He was yet again sent to the King of Iron Fist in Tournament 7 by the army. But unfortunately, after that, he finally got some leave to do whatever he wanted. Deserved, honestly. His powers were pretty typical of the Russian military. He was a ruthless shot, had some hella dangerous moves along with grappling attacks. His fighting style was basically Commando Sambo. Raven. Okay, now we have something new to explore. He's a mysterious, ninja-like secret intelligence operative, and his name is Raven. He's basically a part of the Raven unit, and was the one who had informed of Heihachi's supposed death. He then had to partake in the King of Iron Fist Tournament 5 to figure out who was orchestrating it, since Heihachi was supposedly dead. But that's when he found out that Heihachi had survived and was still alive. And guess what? Raven actually joined the alliance of Lars Alexanderson and Alicia Boskonovich when the Mishima Zaibatsu vs. G Corporation war got serious, so you can imagine just how dangerous Raven is as a character. His moves are super unsafe, and he's one of the hardest characters to master in the games. You really don't want to fall prey to his ninjutsu moves. Anna Williams. Finally, last but not least, we've got Anna Williams. She was the younger sister of Nina Williams and one hell of an assassin. She and her sister were actually taught and trained by both parents, their father teaching assassination skills and their mother teaching them Aikido. Naturally, a sibling rivalry existed, but she actually did care for her sister. During the second King of Iron Fist tournament, she was captured and put to cryosleep for Mishima Zaibatsu's research. But when she awoke 15 years later, she had one mission: to protect her sister Nina and to stop her from becoming an assassin yet again. Unfortunately, she failed and their rivalry continued. Now her powers are pretty straightforward. Crazy assassination skills, some impressive martial arts prowess, and pretty easy to pick up as a player. Of course, she has her flaws, but give her a shot and you might just love it. Marvelous verdict. Alright guys, that wraps up our list of 12 underrated Tekken characters. Whether you play the game casually or are a hardcore grinder who lives and breathes Tekken, give these characters a shot and tell us which one surprised you. Thanks for watching, and remember to smash the like and subscribe buttons to the channel if you enjoyed the content. Until next time, keep smashing those buttons and we'll see you later.